All right, as we know, former VP of sales at Paramount Pictures become Ross Klein is becoming the in of SVP of domestic sales at Sony Pictures. If you don't know, Ross Klein was working at Paramount Pictures for the past 2 decades. He was no and he know from working as a domestic via sales. It was also the handle the flexible distribution licensing of the territories over domestic markets with all the films like franchise like Top Gun Maverick, Mission Impossible, Transformers, Sonic the Hedgehog, and A Quiet Place, and as well as the original films like Martin Scorsese's A Wolf of Wall Street and Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. And because these two films were handled international distribution also by other studios, Wolf of Wall Street distribute U.S. and internationally by Universal Pictures, and Interstellar was co-distributed with Paramount with Warner Brothers. So, and also that Klein was before that he began Klein was beginning working at director sales at New Market Films and Picture House Pictures. Was known the films like he began working with director Christopher Nolan in the Memento movie, and especially Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ movie. Then later, he working at sales manager at NGM because NGM had a financial problems at the time, and then later, he working as a branch manager at sales at the Weinstein Company before the scandal happened. So, yeah, and as probably know, Klein will oversee the theatrical distribution, licensing, and sales operations across the U.S. and Canada for the studio and the labels, and not including overseas markets. Now, Sony Pictures were how going to be different in U.S. and Canada market because Sony Pictures wanted to expanding more like a different kind of brands. Yeah, after the failure of sure the Sony Pictures, Sony and Spider-Man Marvel Cinematic Universe didn't so well, but this more like back to the original IPs. Like Sony had like new Gotham movie was on the works over at Sony Pictures and Alcon Entertainment. But and especially Sony Pictures is on getting ready for the 2025 release. There's the new sequel. There's a new. I know that what I did last summer movie. There's a big, beautiful, bold um, movie stars Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, and especially an upcoming Darren Aronofsky film called Stealing, starring Austin Butler of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Elvis, and Dune Part 2 fame. But for me, I want to see what happened if Ross Klein would become more focused, kind of the distribution licensing over US and Canada. So can do. So we'll wait to see.